So, hello everyone, and thank you for being here with me and to take the time to watch my presentation in the live or maybe in the replay. I'm going to start with the housekeeping just so that I can warm up my voice and grow at ease with the whole situation. So the first piece of housekeeping is going to be my big thank you. So my first one goes to Ashlyn, which I really congratulate for her daring idea to take 22 women together and to have them writing a story. It was such an endeavor, and I can only congratulate her to pull it through. Well done. It's really good. My second thank you is to all those women, sisters, who've been marinating into the creative soup in the pot with me for the last 6 months. Thank you for coming live. Thank you for your comment on the group. And I have listened to you, I have observed you, and I have learned from you. So thank you. And then my last thank you is to the reader or the potential reader, because without you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you. And if you haven't bought the book yet, I really would like to encourage you to do so. And I do it because I see three reasons for doing so. The first one, should you buy the book, our journey together doesn't have to end today. It can start back on May 17th and 18th, where we can have a conversation in the round table. The second reason is the prices. I mean, I looked at the list and what they were, and they are incredible and they are life-changing gifts. And so, seriously, for whoever is fortunate enough to win one of them, it's a blessing. The third reason, which is really dear to my heart because I have used this charity before, is Kriva.org. And I love this charity because it is really empowering women, women throughout the world, from South America, Africa, the whole Southeast Asia, Oceania, to come and to be given an opportunity to create a change, a business, and that will make a change in their private life, in their family, in their community. And what I love about Kriva.org is that when the loan is being reimbursed, if I may say that way, the money is being reallocated. So another woman somewhere in the world, it's her turn to go, it's her turn to shine. So it keeps on giving, and that is really wonderful. The last bit of housekeeping I have is about my freebie. So along with that video, I just posted a little comment. You will find the link in there. It's a link to my website. And everything on the page is available to you. And the first link is actually a bit of a written piece about the background of this story. So yeah, that's about it for that. So now that I have said all that, no further ado, I'm going to introduce myself. For whoever doesn't know me, my name is Florence O'Donnell, and I am a lot of things, but for the sake of this presentation, I think I'm going to say I'm a body-soul connector, and I transmit it through movement, and I advocate the divine feminine principle in order to counterbalance all the patriarchal values that we live in and are conditioning us in a way of thinking, a way of behaving, and speaking. So that's about me in a nutshell, really. My joy is really to help people to free themselves from those layers of limitation. Some of them are self-imposed, some of them are the societal norm, as I just said. And I just want people to be able to remove those layers and to come and to be able to look at themselves and to see at the worst that they are really inside of them and see that the beauty comes from the inside. And I want people to shine their inner beauty in the world, because that's what the world needs people to be happy, to radiate joy and light. And I know I sound maybe a bit like an utopist, but it doesn't matter. That's how I feel. So I'll say it that way. All right. My story, the story I wrote, the story I share in this book is actually a story of remembrance. And when I was writing that, preparing this, I said, oh, how interesting, because I work with embodiment and remembrance being remember and members being our limbs. I was like, oh yeah, is I put myself back together, you know. And so it's a story of remembrance because as a very young child, from about the age of 7, 8, until about my mid-teen, I was very spiritually aware and I got a lot of downloads. I kept asking questions as a very young girl, you know, those type of metaphysical questions that you may have at 7 and 8 years old on, you know, why are we here, and so forth and so forth. And every time I had a question, a few days later, somehow I got an answer, and the answer had come. And one of the greatest things I received was, you are in this lifetime to pursue your soul mission. And I never forgot that. I lost it, and that's what the story is about. I lost it for many decades. I lost it because of the misfortune of life, because of the hardships one goes through. It's not only me. I lost it because of the ego voice, or possibly because of all the fears that one carries within, you know. But at one point, thanks to a meeting, everything got back to me. And I realized that had been always a heart person. I'd always been a soul person. I just did not believe in me. And that's where the change come. So there's not very much difference, except that today, in this embodiment that I am, in that being in my heart and wanting to live from my heart, I know it's exactly the place where I want to be. And I am home. So that's, in a nutshell, my story without any of the detail. So today, my presentation is called, it's quite a long title really, Activation of the Body Wisdom Centers for an Embodied Self-Transformation. So I'm going to take the word self-transformation first and describe it as endless cycles of death and rebirth. From the moment we're being conceived, the moment we're in utero, and possibly even before that, we are starting to transform and to change. And I have to say, some of those self transformations happen naturally, organically, some are desired, some are forced upon us by external circumstances. Some of the self-transformation are easy, and we flow through the process without a bother. And then some of them are arduous, and we get stuck, and we get blocked into the cycle. And listening to all of my fellow women here for the last 2 days, I understand there are many, many healing modalities, many strategies for us to learn to dissolve and grow beyond those obstacles. And my strategy has been to be, or to own an embodiment practice, or even more so, to be an embodied soul. So, in embodiment and in somatics, okay, um, the body is called soma because it's a living organism. It senses, it feels, it expresses moment to moment all experiences, for it's alive and it's very responsive. So the body is a living organism. It's not just one thing that we own. We are the body. And if I take Mary Magdalene's tenets, fully human, fully divine, is exactly that. We came to be in this incarnation not to deny it, not to judge it, but to be with it. and to live. The embodied person makes sense of the world through the senses. And usually another sense would be sensuality. And sensuality is a source of creation. It's a source of joy. It's a source of pleasure. Okay? The one thing with an embodiment practice is that you engage in a non-verbal part of you. So you tap into cellular memory, you tap in some brain function, and you tap into your neural pathways. And as you do, it gives you a chance to shift your perspective, to shift your understanding, and to begin to redefine yourself. And as you redefine yourself, as Michelle mentioned it earlier on today, you rewrite your story. And that's so important. So when you put together self-transformation, embodiment, and spirit, you enter my realm. You come with me. And what do I do and what am I? I'm one who wants to live from the depth of my bones, the density of my bones, all the way through my tissue, my cardiovascular system. I want to tap into the subtle layer of the energy that lives within me and outside of me. I want the light of my soul to shine bright behind my eyes. I want my heart to be so at ease that it receives and that my soul can take residence into my heart. So that is for me an embodied person. It's um, it's a node to life. That's yeah, it is a node to life, you know. So to help you to understand, maybe I want to share with you two ways the body is incredible and why I believe the body is a divine creation. You and I, all of us, we breathe an average of 22,000 a day, times a day, sorry. Through that process, let me explain it very briefly to you. We draw in oxygen, life-enriching gas. It comes in through our nose, through our mouth, travels through our lungs, go deep into little alveoli, little bags. From there, it gets in touch with the capillaries, which is part of the cardiovascular system. Our gas enter a fluid system. So gas and fluid mix together. In fact, our hemoglobin, which are our red cells, takes the oxygen on its back and bring it to go and feed the trillions and trillions of cells that makes us. The cells come, the whole process coming, and the cell has a beautiful language that does pop, 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 and that's called pulsing. And when a cell opens, it sucks in the oxygen and releases the CO2. And the CO2 takes the place of the oxygen into your blood vessel. We have left the arteries, we back up into the venous system, and we are coming back up all the way to the lungs, exhaling the toxin. If that's not magical, do you know how complex a process it is? We do that 22,000 of time a day, whether you are asleep, whether you are talking, whether you are cooking, whether you are dancing. The body is taking care of you. It's maintaining you so you can live and live well. And that for me is phenomenal. Another one that I will bring you, which I find as well, actually teaches you more. I'll tell you. We know we come from one cell, a cell that divides and keeps dividing. And at one point, there's so many cells, we become a community of cells. And that community of cells is so large, it becomes a tissue. And then many tissue develops and they become organs. And then organs keep developing because we keep expanding. And a whole system of organs become a system, a metabolic system. We have 11 of them in, in our body. Okay, so let's say the skeletal system, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, the reproductive system, the endocrine system, you name it, you got it. Okay, all of those systems work together. There is no hierarchy in the body. There is no separation in the body. There is no, oh, listen, I'm a cells from the lungs, so I'm more important than you who lives in the bladder. Uh-uh. When one system is down, it affects them all. So there is a real collaboration in the body, something that us, we should learn. And that's why I talk about the wisdom and the intelligence of the body. It's like mind-blowing when we take time and learn and you discover that maybe, and not only maybe, actually, the body speaks the language of the soul. Because ultimately, the more I explore it, the more I am with my body, and the more I discover, oh my God, collaboration, co-creation, love, respect are actually words or is vocabulary, sorry, of the body language and of the soul, because we are one. The accumulation of all parts makes us one. And that is amazing, really. So maybe I have talked enough, and it would be really nice to do a bit of movement and practice it. So I'm just going to do a wee bit of an adjustment on my camera so you can actually see the floor behind me. It won't take long at all. Close your eyes so that you don't get too sick. And that is it. And you should be able to see my feet. So today, the wisdom centers I want to work with is actually the feet. Okay? So why? Because ultimately, the feet is the one that is in contact with Mother Earth. It's also thanks to our feet that we can stand up and be the human being that we are. Okay? Out of the 5 wisdom centers I mentioned was the feet, the belly, the heart, the hand, and the head. And I have them as 5 because they go with the 5 qualities and stages of what I see in self-transformation. But I park this and let's come into the body. So first off, the one thing with the feet is they are very often overlooked and underestimated. They are overlooked because they are actually, I think they're really good as analogy for the way we treat our body. So we see the body as a, what can I say? Very often we have pain in our body. We have pain in our feet, and we don't like feeling pain, so we discard it. Or we look at our feet and we are embarrassed. Some of us have hard skin. We have possibly a nail that's being damaged. We might have a bunion like mine growing, and that is embarrassing because it's not pretty. Okay? But once we're able to go through that, when we let go of all that norms of what the way things should look, we can come and enter the presence of our body, of our feet in this case. So if you look at your feet, I'm going to give you a few numbers. 26 bones in our 2 feet, 26 bones per foot, 33 joints, over 100 ligaments, tendons, and muscles. In those little things, I'm a size 3 on top of that, so my feet are really small. Okay? Those, thanks to them, not only we can stand, we can bear weight. Our feet take on the whole weight of our body. They're under pressure all the time. They allow us to shift our weight. They allow us to locomote, which is to move in space. Okay? So through that presentation, I'm hoping to be able to show you about 6 or 7 functions of the feet, knowing that those functions are actually states of being for us. So the first one would be lifting off the toes. And you lift the toes up and you release them. And as you lift your toe up, so I hope you have come up and stood with me and taken your socks off. And if you haven't, and if you want to stay on your chair, it's fine because you can still do that on the chair. And exhale and release. Drop the toes. Once more. And as the toe lifts up, create space between your toes. Lengthen the toes. Oh, makes feel good. You know, we are in our shoes all the time. Release. Beautiful. And now, pick up your heels up and come up on the top of the ball of your foot and toes. And begin to gently soften the knees and be there. And feel the ball of the foot after the toes, the ball of the foot. And feel that you might be a bit shaking and yet still able to stand your balance. And notice how much the ball of the foot is working to keep you in balance, safe and protected. And then you're going to bring down the heel, down, 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 down. And the heel is going to often it anchors into the ground. And it does because the whole body weight falls on it. And once you are on your heel, you're going to go and diffuse your body weight through the toes, all the way to the toes, down to the heel. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Creating a pendulum for yourself. And then imagine a line, passing through your feet. And on this line, you're going to create a point, a center point. So your pendulum is going to come lesser and lesser until it stops. And when it stops, squeeze your pelvic floor and imprint in the body one of your center of gravity. Relax. Keep it imprinted into the belly, into your mind, into your vision. And then come and roll your feet on the outer side to meet the arch of the foot. And then you will have the one on the inside and out and in, out and in. Beautiful. And release. And then you're going to shift from side to side. And remember that pendulum that we did forward and back. We're going to create now another line, and we're going to do the same. We're going to lessen our movement and come to put just a point for another center of gravity. And now, hopefully, both of them align. And in this, come and stand in your own presence. Inhaling, turning the palms of the hand towards the screen in front of you, and coming to stand in your power, fully connected to the ground and to the sky above, and connected to all that makes you you, all the layers that makes you one. Yeah? Very good. The feet and the brains have two amazing connections. One of them allows us to move, to shift, and to know our environment. And that's thanks to they live under our feet, and not only. They're called proprioceptors. They are sensors, and they have a direct conversation with your nervous system. So when you walk, depending on the surface that you are, your brain is informed because of those sensors, those captors. They move constantly and they move so fast that it bypassed our thinking mind. Okay? So when we walk in life, ideally, if you think about the Maasai people, they would walk heel through the foot to the toes, propelling themselves forward with the toes. Heel through the foot, toes. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. And they push, and they push, and they push, push, push. So walking is again a way, it's the way to use your body. The awareness you have with your body is going to inform the way you walk. And when you walk with this awareness, you feel far more alive. I'm going to give you another walk, and you can try it with me if you want. It's the dancer's walk, because dancers need to be pretty. Okay? So they don't do a heel walk, they do toe, heel, point and toe, point and toe. So what do you feel? Try it, and you see how the because we've ordered the feet to walk a certain way. That's a decision of the mind. The body adapts, the body accepts, the body comes with you. And if you do it, you notice that, oh my God, my legs don't move at all the same way. I'm connecting different part of my body, but my body, once more, is very alive. And those sensors, those proprioceptors, are doing the work for you, without you. So that allows you to chat with your friend as you walk, for instance. The other way, beautiful connection between the feet and the brain is actually incredible. It's called the fascia. Fascia is all over our body. It's a connective tissue. And there is one line that starts, and I would invite you to really do it with me. We're going to start by your feet. Come into behind your calf. From the crease of your knees, you come to the front of your knees. Travel through the legs, the quad muscles. Enter the pelvic bowl. In the pelvic bowl, there's a lot of muscles as well, and there's the iliacus. And the connective tissue grabs the iliacus, so it goes all over behind. And then it meets the psoas muscle. And the psoas is super important in the body because it allows us to join upper and lower part. Okay? And here, in the psoas stops at the lumbar, the fascia goes there. But the fascia is also riding the quadratus lumborum, which is another back muscle, a deep core muscle that comes all the way to the thoracic spine. Travels forward to the floating ribs, our 12th ribs, enter the diaphragm, enter through the lungs, through the throat, and ends in our tongue. So here we are, with an inherent ability to stand and speak in our truth. And this can be done the other way around. You can travel from the tongue, through the lungs, through the diaphragm, come around, down below, enter your pelvis, come to the front with the iliacus, travel the quads. At the knee, there's an exchange, and you go back behind, travel all the way down to the floor, into the feet. And that can be done with a lot of ease and pleasure. It's a beautiful practice when you bring it with sigh and with the voice. You really grow into a sensuous practice, actually. So that's another function of the body, all those connectedness. There is a few more. I'm not sure I'll be able to go about all of them, but one of them is balancing. Okay, and I might finish with the balancing. And balancing is really, it's a great skill. Balancing is asking for trust, calm, focus, faith. Okay, and balancing, if you want to try it, you can do. People tend to think, oh, balancing is just static. It's not. In the belly, in the body, sorry, homeostasis is a state of balancing. And it's not a dead state. It's going in and going out and going in one extreme and going on the other. And that's what keeps us alive, alive and amazing. Bounciness, bouncing. Remember earlier on we were on the ball of our feet? Balancing, bouncing brings joy, lightheartedness, childlike, yeah, adaptability. What do the children do? They fall, they pick themselves back up, and off they go. So in bounciness, there is neuroplasticity, keeps you young, keeps you fresh, it keeps your mind going. And that is, again, a body that is a soma, and that's a living organism. So to think of the body really as that one thing that we drag with us through our life is a bit unfair. The other two would be anchoring and grounding. And anchoring is, I love my anchoring through a womb, through my womb breath. So I won't have time to do it here today. But you draw the energy of the mother through the womb, through the pelvic floor, and bringing it up, and then you release it. Anchoring is an intention to come into life in a certain way. Anchoring is really deep because you know you already rely on Mother Earth to exist and to be. As for grounding, and that would be my very last one, grounding is a state of surrendering. It's the state to know that not only you are divine creation, but you belong to the Mother. It's a state of being. And in that state of being, there is nothing to do and nothing to prove. So that is why, for me, the feet are such a wisdom center. So that is it. I hope you've enjoyed that. It was quite fast, but any question, you know where to reach me. And please, again, last time, just get the book, get the beautiful wisdom that those 21 women and my own that you just share give you, and hopefully inspire you to be. Um, that is it for me. Thank you very, very much for being present with me again today. Take care. Bye.